Exciting. So as you guys saw in the title of the video, today we're going to be messing with the 24 valve and actually kind of, really zoomed in there, aren't I? Wow. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, and welcome to what should hopefully be, what hopefully is going to be something pretty fun to do and pretty exciting. So we've been working on our 24 valve Cummins, trying to get this thing ready to be on the road, which I feel it is. But we do have other modifications we're going to do to this thing. I want to just kind of go through the gamut of what these 24 valves are all about. Now, that being said, I would love to establish a baseline as far as power and all of that. So really, to dyno the truck or something like that after doing different modifications really isn't feasible here. There's nowhere local to dyno it or anything like that. So your other alternative is to take the truck down the quarter mile. And don't mind the tractor in the background, my neighbors are planting. So anyway, the other thing is a quarter mile test pass. So any other time, any other year, I would just go down to Cecil County Dragway on a Wednesday or a Friday night, pay my $15, and we could run the truck as many times at the track as we would like. But with the current state of affairs, that is not possible. These tracks are starting to open up and all that, but honestly, it's a little more of a hassle than what I would like to, run this thing in its stock capacity, running what I'm going to guess is a 17.5 second pass. So also down below, write what you guys think this thing's going to run, because we do have a way to test it. So that's where this comes in. This is called a Dragy. It's actually, I got it from the guys at 1320 Video. This, it has a magnet, which is pretty cool, but this is a GPS based way to test your quarter mile times. Basically, we'll slap that thing in the truck. We'll bring the app up on my phone, and you can actually kind of take video while you do it and get your 0 to 60, your 60 foot, your quarter mile, your eighth mile, all that kind of stuff. How accurate is it? I don't know, and we won't find that out until we get to an actual track. But with how this thing is underpowered, if you will, from the factory, back in 1998 it wasn't bad, but compared to today's standards, like I said, 17.5 second pass, it is good enough to give us kind of a baseline, and we can always go out there and do that anytime we make a modification. So most of the time when you're watching a YouTube video and people are going to go do something like this, they say, oh, we're going to go to Mexico and whatnot, but I don't know that that's really necessary with the kind of lack of power that this thing has. So the clouds are starting to roll in. It's starting to get dark out. Let's take the truck out, make a couple quarter mile passes with it as it sits. Then we'll take our Super Chips tuner, turn that thing up, and run the truck and see what this thing does. Like I said, put a comment down below what you think this truck's going to run. Alright guys, so we stopped, we pulled over, we're in a little parking area. We're actually tuning the truck to the performance tune on the Super Chips. So I just want to preface this, you know, you're going to have some shots of, you know, driving with the Dragy, and I didn't take all of the information we gathered that way because, well, this is kind of the rinky-dink setup I came up with, just this clamp and my phone, just so we could get a couple of those things, but for the most part I was just leaving it in the cup holder when I did it. Boom, there goes the phone. So anyhow, we've actually been driving around for quite a while. There's no like good place around here to do this kind of thing. You know, somewhere flat where we could just stop, come to a complete stop, and then go for, you know, a quarter or an eighth mile. So we're doing the best we can. We're just trying to get a general realization. So I was going through, really this is where all our information is going to be. So 0 to 60, if you guys look right here, it says under 10 seconds, 0. So we have no runs under 10 seconds to 60 mile an hour, which can't say I'm not surprised, but it's kind of funny. So go to like eighth mile, you see some of these are invalid, it says, and whatnot. We'll get to that in a second when we get to the quarter mile stuff, but really it's just kind of all over the place. But like 11,650 and yeah, 1150, that's invalid. So 11,650 looks to be our fastest eighth mile time. Once again, very slow. And then in the quarter, that's half. So this thing just kind of records as you go. You don't necessarily hit start or stop. So you can kind of do it when you're you know, rolling, like at a stoplight, whatever. But anyhow, go in here. As you guys can see, we have a 1749 and an 1802 that are invalid. So if we look at the 1749, yeah, well, we're going downhill, that minus 4.74. But yeah, that's at 79 mile an hour. I mean, we're just really blazing it up out here. But the fastest quarter mile time is an 1854. And, you know, and as you can see there, the minus 0.12 slope. So just trying to find somewhere flat in the, you know, hills of Pennsylvania. It's kind of hard to do. Not that it's mountainous or anything, just a lot of hills. So this thing's kind of neat. It will show you your speed and your height, which, yeah, not that I don't know why I'd care about height, but acceleration, all that kind of stuff. So like I said, we're switching the tune over. We're going to try and get a little bit of data. I've been driving around for like 2 hours now. This thing's just a blast to drive around with. I don't know, it's funny because it is slow, but just the noise that it makes, you look down and you're like, oh, you know, like, oh, I think I'm speeding or something. And you look down and you're like, no, you're not speeding. It just makes such cool noise for how fast you're going. It's pretty incredible. Like, I stopped and put like half a tank of fuel in this thing before we went off, because as you guys remember, our last job was doing the air dog, so there was only about like 5 gallons in the tank. I just looked at the trip meter before we, you know, started flush. Put like 120 miles on the truck tonight, just driving around, having a good old time. And if we look under it, nothing looks concerning underneath of the engine compartment, so that's good. Yeah, I don't know, this thing is just fun to be driving around. I mean, I can't say I was the whole time driving around trying to find a spot to, you know, try and launch the truck or whatever. You know, any stoplight would do. It's not like we're barely even speeding, to be honest. But yeah, so it's just, I don't know, I'm really enjoying driving the truck tonight. So it is getting late. Like I said, we've been doing this for quite a while, so we just need to hope this tune gets finished up here soon, and we get back out there, and then we can get home and get us something to eat. Oh, I think we're about there.
Quarter mile. 30. 60. 70.
So guys, we are back at the homestead. Just did a couple quick bursts. Like I said, it is getting kind of late. We were just outside driving, which we did. Let's see here. Actually, and also, when I switched the tuning back over on the check engine light didn't come back on like it was previously. So we drove 126 miles tonight. I reset it when I got fuel just because force of habit. Not that I normally get half a tank, but yeah, just having a ball driving the truck around. Yeah, so looking at our 8th mile time, we had our new fastest time of a 10:8, where we were on flat ground. We had a 10:5 where it wasn't flat, but before that, our fastest was like the fastest one that it considers valid on the Dragy is like a 10 or 11:5. So we lost a little over half a second in the 8th just with that little tune, which is pretty fun. I mean, it did wake the truck up. The truck is certainly woken up. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it feels awesome, even with just that little kind of crappy Super Chips tuner. And our new quarter is 1712 at 73 mile an hour. So we were able to get a quarter mile little shot in there, which before our last valid one, our closest was an 1852. So we lost over a second on the quarter going by this Dragy. So yeah, it's amazing what a little tune on these trucks will do, and it's not like it's even smoky or anything like that. I'll be honest, I didn't know what to expect. It's just a little puff when you take off. Now running around stock, the truck felt amazing. Shifting, if I'd stop and just have at it, it just all firm, solid shifts. Now that the truck is spiced up a little bit, I was still getting that feeling, but I think the truck kind of has a little scent to it. So if we keep screwing around with it like that with the tune hopped up, it's going to need a trans. But that's that's the way these things are. I mean, it's not a shock or anything, but just making a couple full throttle hits, and considering the Super Chips tuner says that it adds like 60 horsepower. I think when I looked it up, it said 60 horse. These things made 230, 250 from the factory. So it's a good bit of power for the era of the truck. So that being said, yeah, I like I said, I had a blast driving this thing around tonight. I was hoping to come home and get some work done on it, but yeah, we were too busy driving. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. We got a little bit of a baseline on the truck. Basically, the truck runs about a 17-second quarter mile tuned and about an 18.5-second quarter mile with the truck, completely factory. So we will see where this thing ends up, and I'm just interested to see, how everything does. Hopefully Cecil opens up and we can do this and have time slips to show for it, because that's just so much better, and then you can say, here's where we started, here's where we ended, or when we did this is what it did. So really our only performance modification so far is the tuner, and we have our air dog on there. So we got good clean fuel going to our VP44. So anyway, guys, I'm rambling. I'm excited. I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe down below. Catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get to wrenching on your truck.